Milk chocolate. Milk chocolate is the most widely recognized type of chocolate, especially in North America. It is made by blending cocoa solids with sugar and milk powder, which gives it a smooth, creamy texture and a sweeter flavor than other varieties. The addition of milk softens the bitterness that naturally comes from cocoa, making it very approachable for most people. This style of chocolate became popular in the late 19th century when manufacturers in Europe and the United States developed methods to mix milk with cocoa in a stable form. Today it appears in chocolate bars, candy, desserts, and just about every checkout counter in the country. Because of its sweetness and creamy texture, milk chocolate is often the first type people try when they start eating chocolate as kids. It is also the kind of chocolate most likely to disappear from a candy bowl when no one is looking. Dark chocolate. Dark chocolate contains a higher percentage of cocoa solids and much less milk, which gives it a deeper and more intense flavor. Depending on the recipe, it can range from slightly sweet to quite bitter. The percentage printed on many dark chocolate bars refers to how much of the bar comes from cocoa rather than sugar or milk. Many people appreciate dark chocolate for its richer taste and smoother finish, especially when the cocoa content rises above 70%. It is also commonly used in baking because its strong flavor holds up well when combined with other ingredients. Some people like to describe dark chocolate as sophisticated, though others might say it is the chocolate that adults learn to enjoy after realizing candy bars from childhood suddenly taste very sweet. White chocolate. White chocolate looks like chocolate, but is actually quite different from milk or dark chocolate. Instead of cocoa solids, it is made primarily from cocoa butter, sugar, and milk. Cocoa butter is the natural fat extracted from cocoa beans, and it gives white chocolate its smooth texture and pale color. Because it lacks the darker cocoa components, the flavor is much milder and sweeter. White chocolate is often used in desserts, where a creamy sweetness is preferred over the bold taste of cocoa. Some chocolate purists argue about whether white chocolate should even be called chocolate at all. Still, it remains extremely popular in baking, candy making, and decorative dessert toppings. Ruby chocolate. Ruby chocolate is one of the newest chocolate varieties to reach the market. Introduced in the late 2000s and 10s, it is known for its natural pink color and slightly fruity taste. The color comes from specially processed cocoa beans rather than artificial dyes. Ruby chocolate has a flavor that sits somewhere between milk chocolate and dark chocolate, with a mild sweetness and subtle berry-like notes. Its unusual appearance made it immediately popular in desserts and confectionery products. When people first see ruby chocolate, they often assume it is flavored with strawberries or raspberries, but the color and taste actually come from the cocoa beans themselves. Baking chocolate. Baking chocolate is designed specifically for cooking and baking rather than eating on its own. It usually contains a high percentage of cocoa solids and little or no added sugar. Because of this, the flavor can be quite bitter if tasted directly. However, when combined with sugar and other ingredients in recipes, baking chocolate provides a strong cocoa flavor that works well in cakes, brownies, and cookies. It often comes in solid blocks or squares that can be chopped or melted. Bakers appreciate this type of chocolate because it gives them full control over the sweetness of a recipe. In other words, it is chocolate that waits patiently for the rest of the dessert to show up before revealing its true potential. Couverture chocolate. Couverture chocolate is a high-quality chocolate used mainly by professional chocolatiers and pastry chefs. It contains a higher percentage of cocoa butter than regular chocolate, which allows it to melt smoothly and form a glossy finish when tempered. This quality makes it ideal for coating candies, dipping strawberries, or creating decorative chocolate shells. The texture becomes very smooth once it sets, giving confectionery products a satisfying snap when broken. While couverture chocolate can certainly be eaten on its own, it is most often used as a working ingredient in chocolate making. Compound chocolate. Compound chocolate is a chocolate-like product made with cocoa powder and vegetable fats instead of cocoa butter. Because vegetable fats are easier to work with than cocoa butter, compound chocolate melts and hardens without requiring the precise temperature control needed for traditional chocolate. This makes it popular in large-scale candy production and decorative dessert coatings. The flavor is usually sweeter and less complex than real chocolate, but it is very practical for bakeries and food manufacturers.